Hey friends, hope your week is off to a good start. I just wanted to shoot this quick video for you to show you three things I think you'll find very interesting in this month's market update. And to share that information, I'm going to share my screen with you. So we're going to talk about the buyer activity, listing inventory, and interest rates. So let's jump right to it. Buyer activity. It's been very interesting the last few months. So let's back up to the second quarter of this year. We talked about this earlier in the year. The second quarter was fairly consistent because we were in the 460 range for about 3 months as far as buyer activity. So just held steady. It wasn't an upward trend, wasn't a downward trend. It was just good, consistent activity. We saw July as kind of a transitory month as we got into the fall. And then the last 4 months have been fairly consistent with under contract activity hovering in that 360 range. It's unusual to see that trend this time of year, as you normally see it continuing just a slow decline as you get into the end of the year. What that tells me is that buyers are getting accustomed to the interest rates in that 6.5 range and are getting more engaged and more consistent in their activity. It's not on fire, but it's consistent. And so that is encouraging as far as that goes. What's also interesting is, we had 367 that went under contract August, dropped a little bit September, normal. But then October jumped back up a little bit, higher than what August was. And then November was still almost as high as August. So the activity's been consistent, and I'm encouraged by that as buyers seem to be getting used to the rates that we've been used to seeing. Now, here's another interesting trend, and we talked about this just a few weeks ago in my last report. We peaked out around 1,650 active listings in October, and then in November we started seeing that come down. As my report shared last month, we were down around 1,425, and then as of today, as the recording of this that I'm making, it's 1,386. So we've come down over 200 listings from our peak that we were about 2.5 months or so ago. Now, I do believe most of this downward trend is because we see a lot of sellers who've gotten weary of the market, a little bit frustrated because of lack of activity. I think they've withdrawn their listings and are maybe taking a break through the holidays. If you look at the month of November, we saw that about 315 homes were either withdrawn or expired, and we haven't seen that replaced. So it is possible at the first of the year we'll see some of these listings re-engage in the market, hoping for more activity come the spring. But for those sellers who are out there in the market right now, this is very encouraging because it is helping to reduce the competition some. Now, we are still in a strong buyer's market, even at that 1,386 listings, because that is higher than we've seen since around 2010, but it's not the peak we've seen the past couple of months. So for those who are out there still trying to sell, that is helpful. Interest rates have fluctuated just a little bit, as we talked about after the last Fed meeting. They actually ticked up just a hair. And then in November, we saw them getting up close to 7% again. 6.75 to 7 is kind of where they were hovering. Towards the end of this past week, they actually ticked it down a little bit. And then at the beginning of this week, came down some more. So I saw a couple of rate sheets today with 30-year conventional around 6.5%. So it's encouraging to see rates trending down. Now, this week, we do get the inflation numbers coming out a little bit later this week. That could push rates a little bit higher if those numbers come in hot. And I've got a suspicion that could be the case. We'll see. If the inflation numbers come in a little bit lower than expected, we could see rates ease a little bit more. But nonetheless, we're going to end the year about where we started, because you look back in January, we were about 6.5 to 6.75. Excuse me, that's right in the range where we're going to finish the year, it looks like at this point. So, all that to be said, if you have any questions, as always, or if you have friends or family members who do, just reach out to us. We're always happy to help. You know us, we're not trying to force a sale. I don't want you to feel like you ever need to be selling something to reach out to us. We're always happy if you need referrals to contract providers, or if you need help with decorating ideas, whatever. Any way we can help you guys, we're always here for you. So anything we do to help you, just let us know. Hope you have a great rest of the week, and we'll talk to you soon.